Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to show you my latest take on Control Warlock. You may remember that I presented a lifesteal variant of Control Warlock running corpse takers a few weeks ago, but since then there have been some subtle changes in the metagame, so I have updated the list to better correspond with the current challenges. Namely, the rise of big decks in particular. So this deck list is now more optimized to challenge big decks, remove all of them, take them to fatigue, win the game, as well as still remain competitive against likes of Tempo Rogue and Zoolock. First of all, the list obviously includes a plethora of removal, including the holy grail of Warlock removal, the Tainted Zealot, Defile, Mischief Mixtures combo. This combo is so awesome. For 5 mana you get guaranteed 5 damage to all minions on the board and heal yourself for 4 at the same time. So that's really awesome. In addition to those, there's also 2 copies of Hellfire in the deck, there's an Abyssal Enforcer in the deck, 2 copies of Siphon Soul, 2 copies of Twisting Nether, and a couple of Drain Souls sprinkled in as well, which can be used to get the board state good for Defile or for other purposes, even for single target removal in some cases. You may also notice that something is missing from this deck. I have cut Mortal Coil from Warlock right now, because I don't think Mortal Coil right now is that great. My statistics show that Mortal Coil was underperforming severely. It used to be a great card because it allowed you to effectively make a 28 card deck, so you were able to cut 2 cards from your deck and just cycle with those Mortal Coils. But now it's more often the case that either you want to use it to set up some kind of a Defile, or then you're playing in some kind of fatigue matchup and you don't want to draw with that, and then it's just a worse Moonfire at 1 mana for 1 damage. So I've chosen to cut the card entirely, which also makes my Skulking Geist a little bit better. Because in these fatigue type of matchups, when I play the Skulking Geist or the opponent plays the Skulking Geist, it doesn't cut Mortal Coils from my deck. It's not as bad if I've already drawn them, but if they're still in the deck, then that takes me closer to fatigue. So cutting those gives me an edge, for example in mirror matches, which are going to go to fatigue, though I get to fatigue the opponent first. Another small detail that gives me an advantage in fatigue is Elise the Trailblazer, because Elise is shuffling an extra card into my deck, so once again I get a little bit of advantage going into fatigue. Another new introduction to fight the big decks is Dirty Rat. Dirty Rat can be useful against big decks, against combo decks. In various cases you can play Dirty Rat when the opponent has played a Doomsayer, for example, or on turn you can do the Dirty Rat into Twisting Nether, especially against something like a big priest, where you want to exhaust all of their resources, so you hope that they build a board with Yasharaj when you're at 10 mana, and then you can Dirty Rat even more minions into that and nether them all away. Use your cards very effectively and have enough removal to answer everything a big priest can play. The new addition when I cut the Corpse Takers and the Bloodworms, the new addition to survive against more aggressive decks on the other hand is Tar Creeper. With Stonehill Defender and Tar Creeper, there's a lot of stalling power over there, so you can afford to play those, you can stall the game a little bit, then you can set up for those Defile clears and get the health totals just right for a full clear with Defile. Obviously, as any Warlock deck right now does, especially slow Warlock decks, this deck is running Blood River Gul'dan, which is a central card still, and a demon package for it to resurrect, in this case 2 copies of Voidwalker, 2 copies of Despicable Dreadlord, and an Abyssal Enforcer. And finally completing the deck, there's one big threat in the deck, just for those matchups where you want to have some power on your side as well. So there is the Lich King. The Lich King is probably the least needed card in this deck, so you feel free to replace it with something else if you feel like it, or if you don't own that card. It's a nice big threat to have. At 8 mana it synergizes nicely with Blood River Gul'dan because you can play it and also hero power. So that's why I really don't like 9 or 10 mana cards that much in Warlock, because once you're in Gul'dan mode you really want to be hero powering each turn. So getting something that costs up to 8 is fine. Overall, this has been a very effective deck. I've climbed to rank 3 with this so far, with over 66% win rate. Very effective, really good in the current meta. I highly recommend that you give it a try if you enjoy playing Control style of Warlock. And as always, I have some gameplay prepared for you to see this deck in action. And remember, if you enjoyed this content, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. Let's go take a look at that gameplay. I think I can go with these cards against the Rogue. I'll have Voidwalker to play on 1. Tainted Zealot is there for combos. But I think it's rather academic because there were no real outs anyway. Okay, need to tap here. I can't just go coining the Tar Creeper. I have the Zealot Defile combo in hand. I'm missing the Beastress, but there's a good probability that there's something to activate it. Oh, it's a Miracle. Well, it could still be a Tempo Rogue. Some of them do run the coin. He's poised on making a big Edwin. I haven't found my Silence, which is my main way to contest this. Huge Edwin. But I will make do with some taunts. Let's see about that. I should be able to prevent it from hitting my face at least once. Maybe more.
This guy's a toast.
Oh, okay, it's a Tempo Rogue because he's running Firefly, and he just donated me a way to kill this Edwin. Which I appreciate, because I didn't have the Mister of Mixtures in hand. Thank you, sir. This donation is most kind. And I will naturally put it to good use. There goes the Edwin. Problem is that if he has a Scalebane now, well, I guess I could coin Siphon Soul. He also has the Scalebane, which is pretty good. I'm going to coin the Siphon Soul on that. I can't let it buff other minions. Problem is now that if he has some minions and then a Bone Mare. Do you want me to keep calling these worst case scenarios? Because this seems to be working excellently. So far my worst case scenario calling is flawless. Absolutely flawless. I guess I could try to pull the Bone Mare. What does that accomplish? Well, I don't have a Twisting, but I do have a Siphon Soul. The alternative is to play a Geist. Gets rid of any Cold Bloods. He plays Bone Mare. He goes Face. This will have 9 health. I can Siphon Soul it then. Geist can value trade the Flame Elemental. Well, if he Bone Mares the Flame Elemental, Geist cannot kill anything. Yeah, that's the one he's going to Bone Mare. I think I need to Rat. And I think I need to Hellfire as well. To set up for a follow-up Hellfire. Maybe this was incorrect. So no Bone Mare. I could tap into Elise. Or I could play the Geist. Because he's holding on to these cards. They could be like Cold Bloods, they could be Shadow Steps. I don't want there to be a Cold Blood. I guess I'll go with the Geist. No Cold Bloods in his deck. So neither of those is a Cold Blood. He has 1 Shadow Step left. Oh, the Lich King. Alright. Well, I have a Siphon Soul. Then we hope that he doesn't high roll from the Lich King. Which I guess is going to be pretty likely. Do I actually save the Siphon Soul? What if I Hellfire Drain Soul and I can kill the Lich King? and save the Siphon Soul. Then I won't have any AoE, if that's like an Army of the Dead. Siphon Soul has got to be good here. Let's just tap first. Let's Siphon Soul that and kill this. So I play around a Bone Mare top deck, but I still haven't figured out what these cards can be. I mean, they could be like Leroy Shadow Step. There could be another Vile Spine Slayer. Well, Patches is also possible.
This guy's toast.
Alright. What could he possibly top deck? Maybe he chose to do this play now because that's a Bone Mare. Who knows about these things? I think I want to Hellfire down that board and play Elise. Elise is the best minion I have to challenge whatever he gets next. Like, he can't play Cobalt Scalebane on this board now. He could with the Tar Creeper. That would be very strong. Fledgling, so there has to be a Vile Spine Slayer alongside that Fledgling. That's the only way that makes sense. I only get one Void Walker from Gul'dan. It's Defile time. That's the Lich King card. Yeah, so it cannot be a minion. Drain Soul, Defile. Dirty Rat Mistress. 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. I can tap as well. Now I could play Drain Soul, Mistress, Voidwalker, Defile for a full board clear. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll do it like that. Mistress, Voidwalker, Defile. Then I will play the Dirty Rat out there as well. Yeah, I like Defile. Defile is a fun card. You can set up all sorts of wacky combinations like these. I still don't know his Lich King card. Death and Decay. Death Coil. It was the army. Oh boy. It was the army. Which was the worst case scenario? Yeah, but he has 2 Bone Mares left, so the probability that this is a Bone Mare is very, very big. I have to play Gul'dan this turn, I believe. I got a couple of more taunts up. Do I need to hit here? This one goes down to 3 health. No, I don't hit anywhere. But I'm almost certain there's going to be a Bone Mare this turn. And that will be a major problem. Both Vile Spine Slayers are gone, that's a small advantage, but no Bone Mare. But Bone Mare has got to be coming. There's 2 Bone Mares in the bottom 10 of his deck. That was such a big roll. That... I mean, that, yeah. That. Scalebane. He has had everything but the Bone Mares. Despicable Dreadlord can kill a couple of these. Let's see what I can get from the pack. They're not going to be spells. This one doesn't help. It has to be Despicable Dreadlord this turn. Direhorn Hatchling doesn't do much. Both Vile Spines are gone. What if I play Lyra? He has to kill the Lyra. Then I can play a 5 Den Zoolock. Now I can do better with the Hatchling maybe next turn.
So many bloody decisions.
think I actually need to play the hatchling now. And then trade there. Not the time to play the Despicable Dreadlord yet. I need this taunt between his minions and mine. Then I have the option to play Lyra Mana Bind. You don't trade with that now, do you? If you trade with that, then I just go to eat it next turn. He has a Shadow Step left, he has 2 Bone Mares left. Lyra set up Oathstroke a little bit. Too early, too early. Okay, 50-50. Can I win the 50-50? Can the buff land on the Firefly? I can win the 50-50. That's great. Then I can play the Despicable Dreadlord. Dreadlord. And I guess the Rockpool Hunt. Over Tainted Zealot. No, Tainted Zealot could still be useful later. Then I can eat the Scalebane a little bit. Alright. But he's very likely to find Bone Mare now. I just might have enough tools to live through that. Swashbuckler, right? What do you get from the Swashbuckler? Because you have to kill the Dreadlord. That's the thing. One way or another you have to kill the Dreadlord. That's a big problem. Alright, alright. Don't have the tools to deny the Bone Mare yet. Lyra and Mana Bind is an option. Another option is to start with Stonehill Defender and more taunts. Yeah, you're right that he does need to play around 6, and I guess I can go with the Lyra. Embrace Darkness. Interesting. Seed Bane. Lyra is always worrisome. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not an Ice Barrier. Okay. But I think I'll still try with this, because it could be a Jade Druid. Joe, there's nothing better than good old Control, the way Hearthstone is meant to be played. Playing Control decks, this is training nowadays. The power of tempo decks is so great. This is going to be a big druid. My only chance against big druid is, once again, he must not get too many. Well, could be Aggro Druid as well, actually, with that play. Let's play the Tar Creeper. Challenge it a little bit. Let's hold judgment until I know a little bit. It's a Jade or big druid still. I can't just Dirty Rat into a Jade Druid. I also don't want to play the Tainted Zealot. Not yet. Too soon. Let's hope it's a Jade Druid so that the Skulking Geist can get some value. There's a Mistress too. Okay. So Hellfire this turn into Skulking Geist next turn. I'm just a little concerned of going too low in health. But I think this is the play. Do you want the Mistress Mixtures out there now? I think I want the Mistress Mixtures out there now. I could save it for a Defile combo. But with 2 Drain Souls in hand, I should be able to set up a Defile anyway. I was really hoping to avoid that. Ooh, but there's a Silence. Silencing Aya means 1 less Jade. if I can get the Geist down in right time. I could silence and kill the Aya. Leave him with a 2-2 against my 4-3. Or I can play Geist and trade away the 2-2. I'll go with the silence and kill play. It's unlikely for him to play a Jade Idol this turn. So I think there's a good chance that I will get the Skulking Geist off. And limit the Jades to 7/7s. I could also play an Abyssal Enforcer. But the longer I wait until the Geist, the more probably he is to play an Idol. Enforcer is fine. Let's enforce this now. But I'm a little bit scared all the time about him playing Jade Idols. I mean, shuffling is good. But if he plays the actual Idol as a minion... Ouch, he did get the Idol off. That sucks. It's not too bad yet. But the next one he wants to shuffle. So is the Geist going to be good now at all? He's going to have Medivh in that deck. He can't play Ultimate Infestation yet. So if I want to pull something from his deck, then now is the time. Let's do the pull first. Got rid of silence, that's sweet. Geist time. Geist time. Take a trade there. This does mean he can kill this with a swipe. Maybe I should have traded into a 4-4. So the biggest Jade is going to be an 8-8. And I've so far seen a 5-5. 3 more Jades coming. Then there's Medivh. This is far from over still. He's looking for the swipe. Maybe I should have traded into a 4-4. I was just thinking that this sets up for trade here, then maybe a hit here, and then I can Despicable Dreadlord this one down. Something like that was what I was thinking of would happen. But the Lich King is a pretty big deal. He can play Ultimate Infestation on that. I don't want that. Can I afford to tap now? Go down to 16. I think I do need some more answers here. This is a Despicable Dreadlord play. No reason to play the Tainted Zealot, I think. He will play Ultimate Infestation on the Dreadlord, maybe. He could also use a swipe, though, if he found another one. So, I mean, a 6-6 is a pretty big deal. So I can hit here, hit there. It'll go down to 4 health. Can I afford to play the Lich King now? He does have the minions on the board to kill it. Unless I drain soul here. Then he needs something more from hand, like the Ultimate Infestation. I guess that might be fine. Hit here, hit here. Drain soul there. Play the Lich King. He has to have something from hand to kill the Lich King. Oh, Army of the Dead is such a whiff with this deck. It's 1 in 8 to get each Lich King card, and some of them are just completely useless. Swipe, Wrath. He has 1 of each left. And there's the Ultimate Infestations, of course. I haven't found a Twisting Nether. There are 2 left in the deck. Oh, he went with the armor. That's a big surprise. That's a big surprise because I thought I was the one who's trying to fatigue him. But fine. I think I can tap here. I need to look for something good anyway. This is not it. What can I pull? He has a Behemoth left. There's Medivh. There's not much else. Is pulling Medivh that bad? I guess it's not. I do want to hit this one there first. Getting a Might Control tech is not bad either. I guess this one and that one goes there. Alright, we got rid of a Might Control tech. He might have a second one. So, was it bad that I played 4 minions? We'll see. There cannot be any marks of the Lotus because he had a second one. Okay, he had 2 Might Control techs. Death and Decay is a spell, so I can play Tainted Zealot into Death and Decay, right? That's 5 mana. I would have to find the Gul'dan. I can afford to tap here. I don't need to play Twisting Nether yet. This now deals 4 damage, right? Yes, it does. And I can play a Tar Creeper. I don't have to play a Tar Creeper though. Is there something I want to play? No, I already have a Taunt on the board. I feel fine. I feel fine. Both Spreading Plagues are gone. He has 1 Jade Behemoth left, 1 Blossom left. And I guess if he was running double Might Control deck, he might not have Medivh. There's a decent chance there's no Medivh in that deck. He has a Swipe left. 9 cards left in my deck. I think I do want to tap. I need to find the Gul'dan. With some extra taunts I don't have to kill the Ghoul Infestor. Another Lich King or another Stonehead Defender? Another Lich King, please. No, I don't. Spreading Plagues are gone, Mind Control techs are gone. The Taunt Wall holds. If he goes all in on the board, I can just play Twisting Nether into Void Walker. 8 cards left, I have to find Gul'dan. We're about to find out whether he has Medivh. That's the second to last Jade. 1 more Jade after this one. You're not going to draw with that now, are you? Why would you draw with that? Mister of Mixtures. I don't have to play Mister of Mixtures. I do. To go 5, 6, 7. So I need the Mister of Mixtures out there to get this clear with the Defile. I'm 1 mana off from being able to play the Lich King. I'm 1 mana off from being able to play the Lich King. It has to go 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well then, I'm 1 mana off from being able to play the Lich King. What can you do? Here we go, the beauty of Defile. It just keeps giving.
I'm almost out of cards.
He draws your card 2 Cold Wrath. Yeah, I suppose. He has Swipe left and he has Ultimate Infestation left. He has 1 Jade left. He may or may not have Medivh. Ultimate Infestation can only be used for lethal because it draws him so deep into fatigue. If he plays the Blossom, I can play Siphon Soul.
The circle of life is over.
Okay. Didn't play Blossom, then I can play the Lich King. Oh, but there would also be a Blood River Gul'dan. Is that better than the Lich King? Yeah, I guess it's better. Let's do that instead. That sounds like a good plan.
Out of cards.
He's out of cards. I'm at 21. There's 1 Jade left. Do I Twisting Nether my own minions? Well, not for a Jade, I can just Siphon Soul a Jade. I think we got this, Jade Druid. Always a struggle. But I don't see how he does 21 damage. He has Medivh. Interesting. Very interesting. I guess Medivh is going to get Siphon Souled. One of these is going to get eaten. Other one is going to get hit. Then we push them to face. But I still have another Siphon Soul. I still have another Twisting Nether. I still have 1 more Twisting Nether in the deck. So even with Nourished Swipe, okay, he goes for the board. Alright, do I have to play a Twisting Nether here? Because I can Siphon Soul this one. I can just eat into the shield of this one. What if I play Hellfire? I'm just wondering whether I want to Siphon Soul or not. I mean, Twisting Nether or not. He shouldn't have much left there. I guess I'll just Twisting Nether this board. I don't know what I'm thinking about so much. Let's just Twisting Nether all of those minions. Medivh is gone, Atish is gone, every single Jade is gone. He has Mire Keepers left. That's it. Yeah. That's it. He has another Mire Keeper, I think. But ultimately it doesn't make a difference. Let's grab more Stonehill Defenders. 3 cards left in my deck. I will shuffle in another one. He has Mire Keeper and Wild Growth left. You are very, very, very dead.
My thoughts are plain. You win.
Yes.
I can rest now.
He realized that as well. We'll need to keep Defile in case this is an Aggro Druid. I'm not really sure what to expect. I think I would expect an Aggro Druid, but it can also be Jades. Or Big Druid. So, let's go and find out how much ramp is there. This is a really good hand against Aggro Druid. I hope. No, I'm under some pressure to actually prove that it works against Aggro Druid. He has Mark of the Lotus. I won't be able to defile that board. Okay. Things are getting a little tricky. That was a relatively strong opener. I mean, turn 1, put 6-7 stats on board. What else do you want? I have the option to tap. Can I afford to? I could try like tapping into Stonehill Defender, into Drain Soul Defile. I'll take quite a lot of damage doing that. I think I still need to tap here. I think I need those additional resources. Just when I was thinking I had a good hand against this. And then they have that opener. He kept all the cards too, by the way. Ooh. Well, that's painful. So Stonehill Defender is not going to be enough even. Dirty Rat is not enough. I still need to play the Stonehill Defender. See what I can do with this. Then next up is... do I try to go with Zoolock? Can I set up the Defile combo for next turn? If I can't, then I would have to go with something like Dirty Rat and something. I think I'll try the Zoolock. Let's give it a try. Okay, this is looking pretty bad. He still has one more card that he kept. He kept his entire hand. But I can't set this up into 1, 2, 3, 4. Drain Soul. I can make it 1, 1, 2, 4. He will still have a 3/1 Corsair left. But that's still my play, right? Drain Soul here and Defile. The alternative is to Hellfire. Then I'm dead to something like a... I'm dead to some things if I do that. That would save the Defile. I need to do the Drain Soul Defile. Need to get rid of some of these minions. Leaves him with a 3/1. I'm at 12. I'm not immediately dead to anything. Depends on his next development whether I can play the Zoolock or the Dreadlord. Or if I just have to Hellfire. Down to 8. I Hellfire and I go down to 5. Rough. I need to go down to 5. Right. The next turn I can drop the Dirty Rats. Let's Hellfire. I'm down to 5 health. I don't think he's going to have a swipe in that deck. It's unlikely. 3 of the buffs have been spent, but none of the Savage Roars. Oh, that was huge. Can't play the Abyssal yet. This is a 4/7. So it kills 4 of these. He could have a second Mark of the Lotus. That would be lethal. Or I can try to get something done with the rats. Double rat. I'm dead if there's a Bittertide Hydra. Tricky. Definitely tricky. I guess I'll go to Zoolock. So now I'm dead to a second Mark of the Lotus. But there's nothing else he can play this turn that would kill me. He didn't attack, that was huge. So I will go down to 2 health. That's acceptable. Alternatively, if I play Dirty Rat, Despicable Dreadlord, I get to kill one of this one. This is at 5. 4, 5. Too much coming true. Just too much coming true. I need to play the Abyssal. I'm down to 2 health, but I have a taunt on the way. I don't think he's running swipe. Of course swipe is lethal now, but I find it unlikely for him to have a swipe there. Double poisonous minions. It's okay, I can kill those. I pray the Dreadlord hit there. Do I also need to play the rat? I can play the rat, but I can also sacrifice the Enforcer. It's fine. It's Dreadlord, rat, mistress. Sacrifice the minions to empty the board. Okay, board is empty. I have a taunt on the way. I have some healing coming up as soon as he plays something. It's a couple of more turns that are going to be tricky. What would he hold? He would hold a Savage Roar. What if it's a Bittertide Hydra? He would not hold a Bittertide Hydra. I can play another rat here. Not a minion, it's a spell. Probably a Bittertide Hydra. And now Bittertide Savage Roar. Probably a Savage Roar. It was Mark of the Lotus. Mark of the Lotus was destroyed by the Geist now. Alright, we get rid of the Mark of the Lotus. I have 2/2/6 taunts, I have 8 healing on the board. I'm going to win. I mean, I'm winning this game right now. I think this is the right way. 8, 10, 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. But I want to play around swipe. There is the potential swipe top deck, in case he runs swipe. I don't want to die to swipe under any circumstances. So I can take another turn. So that I ensure that swipe cannot kill me. That was a great game. Man, he had such a killer opener. But Control Warlock, able to pull it off. On the other hand, the new Twitch achievements are just out, were released today. The new partner criteria is that you, in order to make a partner, you would have to have 75 average viewers. No new emotes anyway, there are those couple, but I guess my my Hearthstone streams are not that much more popular. There's a Defile. That means I'm tapping. We're looking at turn 4 Zealot. Defile play here. He could have a Blood Fury potion on the Flame Imp. That would make it awkward. But other than that, things are looking relatively good. For now, we'll see. Of course, I need to do something more than just a Zealot Defile on 4.
You are not the boss of me.
5/5, alright. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Puts me down to 18. I have the option to play a Tar Creeper. That will consume some of his resources to get through. I could also play Tar Creeper after I've cleared the board. But playing a Tar Creeper might mean that I don't have to use the Defile yet. I think I'll go with the Tar Creeper. Let's try to avoid some of this damage. With the Malkasaur's Imp on board, he might be tempted to use Soulfire on this. But I guess I'm quite alright with that. Then my 5 is going to be a little weak. We'll see. Okay, so now I could obviously wipe this board. But do I have to? I can afford to wait a turn. I believe I can. Get him to commit a little bit more. Now I could already follow up with an Elise though. Could also kill off my own Tar Creeper. Tricky. What if he has some buffs, like a Defender of Argus, and he sacrifices some minions too? There are some risks involved. I think I'll go with this. Let's see. Double Councilman is fine. That's a Soulfire, right? No. Across Veteran. Okay. Then comes the attack. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with this. I still got a board clear and I'm at 17. So it's fine. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, that's a board clear. So let's set Zealot into the Defile. And now it's even better because I can develop the mixtures afterwards. So I still have board presence after wiping those minions. Now both Councilmen are gone. That's a good start. So many Flame Elementals. So many Flame Elementals. I mean, I could take away the Soulfires and Mortal Coils with the Geist. It's not like he has a huge burst outside of that. So I think I want to take away those Coils and Soulfires now, because I read this as him having Coil possibly in hand. 2 Soulfires and Coil are now gone. So he may have had the plan here to get the Mistress to attack and then coil the Mistress for an extra card. That's how I read that play. Of course, it's not like he had a ton of cards anyway, so he didn't have a whole lot of options. Okay, I need to mulligan for Zoo. Let's see. That's Zoo, alright. Well, double twisting Nether is nice, but it's a little bit slow against Zoo. Let's see if I can put together the tools to survive until that point. So far so good. There's Tainted Zealot too, that's excellent. Okay, I have a bunch of tools here. Fledgling's a little bit annoying though. Does Fledgling force me to coin Hellfire? Because if I play Tar Creeper, he could Soulfire that. If Fledgling finds health, it doesn't die to Defile anymore. It probably does force my hand. Let's coin Hellfire. It's a little bit too scary. There are some very specific outs that Fledgling just snowballs. If he has a Crystal Weaver for this, then it goes out of reach of the Defile combo. He could also have a... Doom God. That would be pretty annoying. I think I'm going for a Tar Creeper here. That's my best defense against, like he plays Doom God here, then the Doom God has to hit into the Tar Creeper, and then the board is vulnerable to Tainted Zealot Defile. You're not seriously going to sacrifice 2 minions into that, are you? No, you're not. Figured as much. I could play another Tar Creeper. He attacks with this one and this one still lives. So I get the same effect by playing a Stonehill Defender, right? Just about, yes. Something's going to get through. Would I ever play a Dirty Rat here? What if it pulls a Doom God? I'll play the Stonehill Defender. And I can grab a... Let's grab the Void Walker. Play that one too. I think I'll defend myself with these now. So this should ensure that no damage gets through. Soulfire Doom God would get through, but he's not going to play that. That was weak patches if I ever saw one. He really doesn't want to commit too much. I'm cool with that, I'm cool with that. So I have the option to play Elise. Next turn he can play a Bone Mare though. That's a little bit annoying. If he plays Bone Mare, does he trade into Elise? He might not. Is it time for me to risk it with the Rat? I'm still 2 turns away from first Twisting Nether. And this is going to get buffed by the minion that comes out. I think this is a good time to risk it with the Rat. There's a chance that I can pull a Bone Mare from his hand. I can just silence that one. I think this is fine. One says, which card is most important? Is the Elise or Lich King? Elise. Elise is more important than the Lich King, absolutely. You can replace the Lich King with a lot of things. It's fine. He's playing a very, very patient game. One, two, three. I could simply defile this board, and I will. So I punch him in the face. 1, 2, 3, yes. What card can I put in place of the Lich? Let me think about that for a moment. Just need to get this place right. Then there is. So instead of the Lich King, you can play another Abyssal Enforcer. What else would you play there? This currently doesn't run any Mortal Coils. You could even replace it with a Mortal Coil. Mortal Coil would be fine. Plenty of ways, really. Talnos. If you play Talnos, you want to play Mortal Coils. You don't need Talnos if you don't run Mortal Coils. Just for Defile and Drain Soul, it's not very great. Well, maybe you can do that too. But Talnos and Mortal Coils sort of come in as a package. So if I really don't want to Siphon Soul, I could do something else. How scared am I of dying? If I just Siphon Soul this and hit face. Put him down to 6. I do want to Siphon Soul that. I think I'll just hit him in the face. Let's see what he's going to do about that. Obviously he has to respond to this somehow. That's a potential response. He's down to 6. But I need the Twisting Nether in order to wipe this board now. And I need to save the second Twisting Nether for cooldown. What if I play Despicable Dreadlord and Drain Soul the Doom God? That also applies some pressure. So many interesting options here. This with 4 cards in hand, then I could also play the pack. I'll play the Despicable Dreadlord. I'll play the Ungoro pack. See what I can find from there. A bunch of nice things. Then I Drain Soul the Doom God. I think this is fine. This challenges his board. I get some nice things. Yeah, go ahead and tap. I have 2 damage from hand. Bone Mare. Nice. Twisting Net terrible, but nice. Do I need Twisting Nether if I just play my own cooldown here? Yeah, that 14 damage is too much. I can't afford to take 14. I need to play the Twisting Nether. This Twisting Nether looked bored. I could play of Tainted Zealot. Yeah, let's play Tainted Zealot. That's a lethal setup for next turn with the Flame Geyser. If he doesn't have taunts. Zealot hits him for 1 and Flame Geyser hits him for 3. Well, now I can just Flame Geyser him.
Speak your peace.
Okay. Boom. Ungar pack. So I'm expecting Kasakus Priest. And keep just the Dark Reaper. Let's go with this. I was debating keeping the Stonehill Defender as well. Well, now I don't have to choose, because I get it right back. I can even play the Voidwalker to bait out something like a Cleric, because I have Drain Soul. If I didn't have Drain Soul, I wouldn't be able to play that. But now I'm beginning to wonder if this is in fact a Big Priest, because he didn't play anything for 2 turns. This is probably a Big Priest. He kept 1 card, so that could be Barnes. But he can also mulligan for 2, in which case that could be something weaker, significantly weaker. These are not the cards I seek, really. These don't do much. Ancient Blossoms can be good after I have played the Geist, but not really before, because the Shadowed Pain. I have so many early game minions, I think I can pick that anyway. Do you have the Barnes? Is that the Barnes, or have you top decked it later? No, you don't have the Barnes, but this has got to be a Big Priest. All I need is a bunch of removal. Can I afford to tap here? No, I think I need to play a Dark Reaper. I need to find the Twisting Nethers. I already have the Siphon Souls and I have Gul'dan. So I have some of the pieces I need. But this can get tricky. He didn't have the Barnes, so next is 6 when he can have... Oh, that's good that he uses Shadowed Pain here. Because I have the Ancient of Blossoms as well coming. Next turn he can play a Shadow Essence. Do I coin the Geist? That's actually a serious question. I'm tempted to coin the Geist. Because if he plays Shadow Essence next turn, I have to respond to that most likely. I'm coining the Geist. It only removed 2 pint-sized potions. No Potions of Madness. No Holy Smite. That is interesting. Of course, the Shadow Essence always gives that one. Well, that's how it goes. We're now equally deep into our decks after the Geist. I was hoping to get a more significant fatigue advantage with the Geist. I guess the Geist is going here. He can resurrect that next turn most likely. Do I want to play something else out there now to potentially die? I could play the Mistress. Do I want to tap 1 more time? Because I would have to find the Twisting Nethers at some point. 19 cards, 19 cards. I have the Elise left. I can tap once. Then I'll play the Mistress and I run in the Demon here. Mistress is the one that dies, okay. I can play the Dark Reaper out there. He can respond, of course, with a Dragonfire Potion, for example, but this is curious that he doesn't run Holy Smite or Potion of Madness, just the pint-sized potions. He's looking for Eternal Servitude, If he can find a bunch of Eternal Servitudes, that's bad. If that was an Eternal Servitude, would he have played it already? Possibly. So now I can trade everything in and drain soul. That will save the Siphon Souls, which are pretty important here. I would still need to find a Twisting Nether. I have not dealt with any real minions yet. That's also a thing. I need to run all of these in. And then I can drain soul that. Do I want to tap more? I'm concerned about the fatigue game, but I also need to find answers. I can optionally also defile this now. Defile's fine, right? Now let's defile and play a Void Walker. I'll tap once. I was considering whether to do that or not, but I ended up doing it. Let's see. This is still relatively even fatigue game. He found the Barnes. What does he pull? Another statue. That's okay. That kills this one right now. I think I'm fine with that. He could have another Shadow Word Pain, but he's not very deep into his deck yet. Now let's trade in the Void Walker. I don't want to tap anymore though. The fatigue difference would become too big. I'll play the Ancient of Blossoms. Now we get to see if he has another Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Pain in hand. Shadow Word Horror is useless now because of the Pint-sized Potion. That's alright, I don't mind that. That is a card that I do want to Siphon Soul though. Yeah, I'm just siphoning that one. Ancient of Blossoms. It can go face. Makes little difference. I haven't found the Dreadlords, I haven't found the Enforcer. So Gul'dan doesn't resurrect a lot of things yet. We'll see. Now he can start playing big things and I haven't found a Twisting Nether yet. If he has Yashuraj, and he does, that can be an issue. With the Lich King too. This is a problem because I haven't found any Twisting Nethers yet. I mean, if I had a Twisting Nether here, I would play Dirty Rat into Twisting Nether. If he has a Shadow Word Pain, he gets to deal 21 damage with just these. That's a lot of damage. It's around 20% to get the Twisting Nether. Horror is also going to be useful, because it kills the 1/3s. I think I need to play Gul'dan anyway. Because if I keep tapping, I will lose the fatigue game. So that will just lead to an inevitable loss anyway. Whereas this way there is a chance. Did he have a pen? He has silence. This way there is a chance that I can do something. If I can pick up a Twisting Nether here, I will be fine. There's the Twisting Nether. So it's probably Dirty Rat into Twisting Nether to maximize the effectiveness. He may or may not have any cards in any minions in hand. He has one Uzera card, that could be a minion. No minions in hand. That's too bad. And he still has another Eternal Servitude left, and a Shadow Essence. There's an Obsidian statue in the deck, and some other things, so this can get tricky from here. There's it's going to be Shadow Word Death, so I think Elise is fine over the Lich King. Lich King does give me something immediately. And Elise makes it less likely for me to find the second Twisting Nether. I think I'm actually going with the Lich King now. Alright. Army of the Dead. I played 2 Lich Kings tonight. Both times I got Army of the Dead, which is completely useless in this deck. So sometimes Lich King just doesn't give you the cards you want. Okay, this Despicable Dreadlord is fine. Let's just put something on the board. It's alright. He has 1 Eternal Servitude. He may have 2 because of Shadow Visions. He's going to have 2 Zera cards. I need to siphon all these Zera. Yeah, I think I just need to. Alright. So he has played 1 Shadow Visions and he got Horror from that. He has played both Eternals. There are no more Eternal Servitudes left. That's all Eternal Servitudes there are. Because he can't Shadow Visions into any more of those. So I think I won this game now. He still has Anduin left though. We'll see. Let's play the Stonehill Defender. Oh, that's such a bad selection of cards. I guess the Hired Gun will do. Stonehill Defenders have really been letting me down, as has the Lich King. This is a hard game, yeah, Blue. This can sometimes be really tricky. He has 2 Greater Healing Potions. So this is not yet over. And he has 2 Shadow Word. No, he has 1 Shadow Word Death left. He cannot resurrect the Ashurash. He has the Obsidian Statue left. He has a Dragonfire Potion. I think I can drop Elise here. 7 cards in hand, 8 cards in deck. So now he is deeper into fatigue than I am. But he has 2 Greater Healing Potions. He's going to Shadow Visions for a Greater Healing Potion now. Right? Well, he could have 1 in hand, so maybe he cannot. Not sure. But I'm going to keep dropping these threats 1 at a time. And see what happens. That's the second death, right? Yeah, both deaths are gone. Deaths are gone, Banes are gone. He has Shadow Word Horrors there, which are essentially useless. He still had that Shadow Essence. Do you use new World of Warcraft cinematic? Yeah, I did. Of course. I can drop a Tainted Zealot for the 50% chance that it dies instead of the Enforcer. Let's see which one dies. The Enforcer dies. That's okay. Then I can play Despicable Dreadlord here. I want to make room in my hand also for the pack. So now he has 1 Shadow Essence left. He has 1 Obsidian Statue left. He had a Nusser Awakens. That's the first Greater Healing Potion. Nice. He has 1 Dragonfire Potion left. There's that 1 statue, 1 Shadow Essence. So he can have 2 statues if he draws the Shadow Essence before the statue. He has kind of some nice cards. Awakens and Death and Decay. That was some reasonable power right there. He doesn't have any minions in hand, right? I don't think he does. But he has some Shadow Earth Horrors left. But I also need to reduce my hand size a little bit. I'll play the rat. Yeah, I figured he wouldn't have found the statue yet. He has 2 horrors remaining, so he can horror this. I would assume he horrors this.
Side effects? No. Trust me. I am almost out of cards.
Does he pick up the Shadow Essence before or after the final Obsidian statue? That's the big question. If he picks it after, it's useless. If he picks it before, he gets another 5/5. So he now has the statue in hand. That's good information.
I am out of cards.
He has the statue and he has a bunch of removal. And he has a greater healing potion.
I'm almost out of cards.
If the game goes on like this, then I will win, right? I think so. He has embraced the shadow. Why would you have that?
I'm out of cards.
Well, that's very interesting. I need to make some room in my hand. 9 cards in hand, that's too many. I can play the Army of the Dead, just to get rid of a card. He has to play a Greater Healing Potion soon. Okay, that's the second Greater Healing Potion. No more Greater Healing Potions. Do I even need to make room to play the pack? I mean, I could play Hellfire pack. Is there any reason for me not to make room for the pack?
So many bloody
Not really, no.
decisions.
4 cards is fine. Do I want to use a Defile? I can use the Defile. Then I get the full 5 cards from the pack. Okay. He has one more Shadow Word Horror left. And then there's that one Obsidian statue. Do I just Volcano it? I can just Volcano that one. Then I can also afford to play Pterodax Hatchling. He has a Dragonfire potion left too. Let's see what I can pick from the Adapt. Divine Shield doesn't do much, but let's play that. He just doesn't have outs. I think I'll try with this hand. Let's see. Blue seems like a deck you have to play a lot of turns ahead. Yeah, it does require quite some planning. Okay, Voidwalker will be solid here when he pulls the patches now. Voidwalker is really nice into this spot. This one turned out well so far. But then what? Dagger is not that great. I mean, Backstab is the only thing that's really great here. Backstab and Dagger. And then if he has like Captain next turn. But if he doesn't have that, then he probably doesn't attack. Dragonlock, never playing the lifesteal control architect, you put on Hypnosis in short game attack. Yeah. Blood Imp. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dragonlord Gaming. This is actually an evolution of that deck. This is what I developed that deck into during this season. So this is the next step. I think I need more resources. But I want to kill Patches because there is a chance that he has a captain. But if he has a captain, I need a way to answer that, and I currently didn't have it, even if I coin Dark Reaper. Why would you Shadow Step? What? Yeah, SI7 agent. I think that's still pretty weak play, but... yeah, this is a lot of fun. You don't need the Lich King. I mean, Lich King is pretty easily cut. After getting that Army of the Dead 3 times tonight from the Lich King, I'm a little bit unsure about the card sometimes myself. And maybe you can also cut the rats, because in some matchups they're not that useful. So you could run with the Mortal Coils and something if you chose to. I have Lich King, yeah. Lich King is viable. Just not the best thing ever in this deck. Do I want to Dark Reaper out here now? He cannot play a Wildspine Slayer yet. Yeah, I think I want the Dark Reaper. Let's play the Dark Reaper. Because he has a free Swashbuckler in hand now. Not Elise though. That's a little bit sad because Elise is more important than the Lich King. Because of all those slow matchups, for example. Those continuous health buffs can actually be annoying. Oh, world for a simple Tainted Zealot. That would be a board clear right here. I really want to find a Tainted Zealot, but on the other hand I'm a little bit concerned. I think I'll go with the Stonehill Defender now. Void Walker, Stubborn Gastropod. Let's grab a Void Walker. I like Void Walkers. Void Walkers are pretty good. I'll play that. So we have a solid taunt lineup right now. Even if he has a Wildspine Slayer, he can use that to kill a Dark Reaper, but can't do a whole lot else. Then I'm wondering if there's a way for me to get this set up so there's a beautiful 1, 2, 3. So right now there's 1, he sees 4, 5, 6. But I can't hit into that or my minions will die. I'm missing 2 and a 3. I can get 2 from the Mistress. Can I get a 3? I can get 3 from the Dark Reaper. So I've got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mistress.
Side effects? No.
Into Drain Soul on this one. Into Defile. Ooh. Just keeps going. It just keeps going. Just keeps going, I say. If I had a Tainted Zealot, I might have waited longer. But without a Tainted Zealot, it's so hard to set it up. Now there's the potential for Bone Mare next turn. But the Dreadlord is still the play here. Let's get rid of this pirate before he finds a captain. Well, if he had a captain, he would have played it together with the pirate last turn, right? There's the Bone Mare as expected. He wants to go face. That is an interesting choice. That is a very interesting choice because I have the option to start Spellbreak this one. But I think that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Your magic shall not save you. Then I'm going to hit it. So that it goes down to 1 health and dies to the power of this. Then I can also play a Stonehill Defender. So that I will have a taunt up. He has Wildspine Slayers, and he has been holding on religiously to this 0-mana Swashbuckler. So there are hardly any really good taunt minions. I guess Hired Gun will do. There's of course the chance that he has another Bone Mare, but if he has another Bone Mare, he doesn't have the mana to also remove the Stonehill Defender. Now that Lich King is annoying. But I think I need to kill it without using the Twisting Nether, because I can. And I can take away Cold Bloods, that's an upside. Do I also want to play a Taunt Minion? That would require using the coin. I think that's going to be acceptable. I need to run these guys into the Lich King now. He might not even play Cold Blood in that deck. That's definitely an option. He did have a Cold Blood, and he had it in his hand as well. So that's good that I got rid of that one. Now I believe I'm going to coin out which one. Both die to this one, one of them dies to backstab. I guess the Tar Creeper. He could play Vilespine, because there are two cards that can be a Vilespine here. Then he has some Warlock cards still, right? Yeah. There can also be some Warlocky things coming. I may need to start tapping again. That was interesting turn of events. Is this enough for me to use a Twisting Nether? Leaving him still with a pair of cards. Now I can just use Hellfire Drain Soul. I hit here, Drain Soul here and Hellfire. That way I can also afford to tap. I think I want to tap here. Does this change anything? It does not. Hellfire still doesn't kill this. So I hit there. I drain Soul there. And I play the Hellfire. So we wipe the board. He still has a Scalebane left, he still has a Bone Mare left. There's still some power left in that deck. And of course there's Leroy. And there's some Warlock cards. Kittering Tunneler. That's going to be really annoying. What kind of spell can he do? He discovers a rogue spell, so he can find Eviscerate. Head Crack. He really wants that repeat damage in now. I would hate to play a Twisting Nether on this board. Just such a weak move. Can I afford to keep tapping, because he can just keep head cracking me? I have to find the Gul'dan. I don't win this otherwise, because the head crack is infinite damage. That's pretty painful. That's pretty painful that the head crack is infinite damage, so I cannot win without Gul'dan. Oh man. Head crack. From a Kittering Tunneler. That was from a Swashbuckler. He's your own Warlock. If you're not able to compete both with hand tap. Yeah. Now there could be something like Leroy, and he can kill me with Leroy and the head crack. Because he's been holding on to these cards religiously. I can tap into Lich King to live. I can tap into Dirt Rat, I have to. I have to tap. That's not the right card. I need to play the Elise to potentially challenge the board, although that puts the pack, but now I'm dead to Leroy. And I have good reason to assume that this card here is Leroy. But I had 3 outs in my deck. Yeah, I had to tap. I'm 3 out of 12. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.